The Cassini-Huygens mission. The Cassini probe can be seen orbiting Saturn. What was the Cassini-Huygens mission? The Cassini-Huygens mission was a joint space research mission between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Italian Space Agency to send a probe to Saturn. The purpose of the probe was to study Saturn as well as the systems around it, including its rings and natural satellites such as moons. When did the mission start? The mission was formally launched on October 15, 1997 at 8:43 a.m. UTC from the Cape Canaveral SLC-40 launch site. The mission ended on September 15, 2017 at 11:55:39 a.m. UTC when last contact was made on the X-band telemetry as the probe fell into Saturn's atmosphere. Cassini was launched using a Titan IV-B Centaur rocket as seen in this video of its launch.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the Cassini spacecraft on a billion-mile trek to Saturn. Pitch program is in, roll program is in.
The mission duration was 19 years and 335 days, with 13 years and 76 days of mission time spent at Saturn. That was 66% of the mission. Traveling from Earth to Saturn took 6 years and 261 days and was approximately 33% of the mission, which involved various gravitational assist flybys of planets in the solar system. Flybys and gravity assists. The probe used flybys of multiple planets and systems to use the gravitational assistance of the said planets and systems to provide the probe with enough momentum to escape the sun's pull and to travel past the asteroid belt. The first flybys happened at Venus. The Cassini spacecraft performed 2 gravitational assist flybys of Venus, the first taking place on April 26, 1998, and the second taking place on June 24, 1999. The second flyby took place almost 2 years after the spacecraft had launched from Earth. The next set of flybys happened in our own backyard with the Earth and the Moon. On August 18, 1999, the probe performed a gravitational assist flyby of Earth and the Moon on August at 3:28 a.m. UTC. This was the last time the probe would ever be influenced by the Earth's gravity. Space tourism. 2685 Masursky flyby. Cassini performed an incidental flyby of the asteroid 2685 Masursky on January 23, 2000 at approximately 10 a.m. UTC. On approach, the probe took pictures of the asteroid. The asteroid can be seen as that pale white dot in the center of the image. Space tourism, Jupiter flyby. On December 30th, 2000, Cassini reached its closest approach to Jupiter. The probe was still 9.7 million kilometers away from the planet, but was able to make many scientific measurements. Approximately 26,000 images of Jupiter, its moons, and its faint rings were taken during the probe's 6-month-long flyby. An image taken by Cassini of Jupiter can be seen in this slide. Space tourism, Phoebe flyby. On June 11, 2004, the Cassini probe flew past Saturn's moon, Phoebe. This flyby was the first opportunity for close-up imaging and study of Phoebe. An image taken by the Cassini probe can be seen in this slide of Phoebe. Saturn orbit. On July 1, 2004, the Cassini probe flew through a gap in the F and G rings of Saturn and achieved orbit around Saturn. After 6 long years, the probe had finally arrived at its destination, and now the rest of the mission could proceed. The Titan flybys and the Huygens landing. On July 2, 2004, the Cassini probe underwent the first of many flybys of Titan. This first flyby, however, was incidental and unplanned by the mission team. This flyby occurred just one day after achieving Saturnian orbit. The probe took images of Titan using special filters that allowed the camera lens to see through the moon's haze. The images taken showed southern polar clouds that were thought to be composed of methane, as well as surface features of differing brightness. Titan flybys and the Huygens landing. On October 27, 2004, Cassini performed the first of 45 planned close Titan flybys where it passed 1,200 kilometers above the moon. The first radar images of Titan were taken and subsequently transmitted to Earth. These radar images showed that the surface of Titan was relatively level, where its topography reached about 50 meters in altitude. Titan was discovered to have lakes of methane, similar to the water lakes here on Earth. Nearly 4 gigabits of data about the moon was collected and transmitted by the probe to Earth. The Huygens landing. The Huygens probe was released on December 25, 2004, and entered Titan's atmosphere on January 14, 2005. Following a 2.5-hour descent, the probe landed on the surface of Titan. Cassini successfully received and transmitted 350 pictures from the descent and landing site of Huygens. However, 350 additional pictures failed to relay due to a software error failing to turn on one of the Cassini's probe receivers. Enceladus flybys. In 2005, during Cassini's two first close flybys of Saturn's moon Enceladus, the probe detected a deflection in the magnetic field that led to the belief that the moon had a thin atmosphere. Other data obtained during the flybys suggested that ionized water vapor was the main constituent of said thin atmosphere. The probe also made the observation of water ice geysers erupting from Enceladus's south pole. The possibility of life on Enceladus. On April 3, 2014, NASA announced evidence of a large, salty subsurface ocean on Enceladus. The presence of this ocean has given rise to many theories about the possibility of alien microbial life existing in said subsurface oceans on Enceladus. Saturn's rings. In mid-2005, the Cassini probe undertook a series of radio occultation experiments to attempt to measure the size distribution of particles in Saturn's rings, as well as measure the atmosphere of Saturn itself. During these experiments, the probe flew behind the ring plane of Saturn and transmitted radio waves through the atmosphere and the particles of the rings, where the signals were then detected on Earth. These signals were analyzed for shifts in frequency, phase, and power in an attempt to determine the structure of the rings and the atmosphere of Saturn. In September of 2005, Cassini used its imaging hardware to detect spikes in Saturn's rings. The Venus transit. In December of 2012, Cassini observed a transit of Venus across the Sun. The image of Venus flying across the Sun can be seen over time as a little dot floating across the Sun's surface. Smile and wave, life on the pale blue dot. On July 19, 2013, Cassini was pointed towards Earth as part of a multi-image portrait of the Saturn system. NASA informed the general public that a long-distance photo was being taken of our planet. The imaging team of Cassini stated that they wanted people to smile and wave to the skies. Cassini scientists had described the moment as a chance to celebrate life on the pale blue dot. Visiting Rhea and the changing colors of the clouds. On February 10, 2015, the Cassini probe visited the moon Rhea and took some of the highest resolution color images of the moon to this day, which can be seen in this slide. Between 2012 and 2016, the hexagonal cloud at Saturn's North Pole had visibly changed from a green-blue color to a hazy gold. One theory of this color change is that it is a seasonal change, with sunlight exposure creating a haze as the pole swings towards the sun. Status extended. In April of 2008, the Cassini mission received funding allowing for a 27-month extension. This extension consisted of 60 more orbits of Saturn, including 21 more close Titan flybys, 7 close flybys of Enceladus, and multiple flybys of Saturn's other moons. This extension began on July 1, 2008 and was named the Cassini Equinox mission, as the mission start was coincident with Saturn's equinox. Status extended ×2. A proposal for a second extension was submitted to NASA and was provisionally named the Extended Mission, or XXM. The extension was approved in February of 2010 and was renamed to the Cassini Solstice mission. The extension included 155 more orbits of Saturn, which included 54 more flybys of Titan and 11 more flybys of Enceladus. Mission end and the destruction of Cassini. The end of the Cassini probe featured a number of close Saturn passes approaching within the rings, and then a final entry into Saturn's atmosphere to destroy the spacecraft. This method of destruction was chosen in an attempt to prevent any contamination of possible life on Saturn's moons, such as Enceladus. The probe was destroyed on September 15, 2017 at 11:59 a.m. Sources: the Cassini image on slide 1 was taken from the NASA JPL website. The Cape Canaveral launch site was taken from space.com. The Cassini launch video was taken from YouTube by the channel Terminal Countdown Videos. The video title was 10/15/1997, Launch of Cassini-Huygens. Other images were taken from the JPL photojournal, Images from the Cassini mission. General information was taken from Wikipedia and the NASA JPL websites.